What up, man?
What's up?
Great to see you.
Good seeing you.
All right, I hope we make this a yearly thing. You're the man, and congratulations on the year last year. I mean, phenomenal.
Appreciate you.
I was there. I was sitting in the stadium right there watching
yeah.
that. Yeah, it was great. I want to go through like some memories of the game. All right, just we're about to kick it off against the Baltimore Ravens. Bomb in the Super Bowl, Mecole Hardman.
Yes.
I mean, that's to me like every kid dreams about being in the big game, the Super Bowl, throwing a bomb. Can you kind of just take us through that feeling and that play a little bit?
Yeah, it was a play where we were going to try to take the aggressiveness of the 49ers against them, kind of a rollout to the left with a big kind of corner post back across the field.
Right.
And we had Trav, actually, who ran kind of an out route and was trying to draw that safety in. And I had fully committed to throwing the deep one. And if you look back on it, I throw it and the safety kind of misjudges it. He might have could have made a play.
Yeah, right.
But I threw it up there, gave my guy a chance. He makes the play. And then all I could think about is if I wouldn't have thrown it to Trav right there, sitting wide open, like 20 yards ahead of him, if I'm going to throw it up the deep one, I better complete it.
Yeah, you better complete
Yeah.
it. Right. That's probably why Trav pushed Andy later in the game.
Oh, no.
He was like, why did I get that ball right there? That was a dream come true. Awesome throw. Like, to me, one of the greatest throws in Super Bowl history. I really I'm sitting in the stands watching that. All right, game winner. Take me through when the motion's coming down. Were you like, we're about to win the Super Bowl? When was the moment it hit you?
Honestly, even until I threw it, I thought it was going to be, we had a shovel pass off of that, and I thought that was going to be where I was going to go.
Right.
With the motion, you could see the corner stayed out. It wasn't like they were in like a true man-to-man kind of coverage. And I think just with Trav being that guy that run the corner route, it just drew the corner in. And so if you look at me, I kind of look back, like I'm going to throw the shovel pass. You see Bosa close down really fast. And
right.
I outflank, and I see Mecole just out there, and I'm throwing it. I'm like, man, we're going to win the Super Bowl. It wasn't like that was kind of supposed to be like the window dressing for the shovel pass, and ended up being the guy that we threw it to.
So you kind of just last second felt Bosa, and this was like, hey, if everything's messed up, you go out here and throw the football, and you just kind of felt it. And
yeah, that was our third read. I mean, you're kind of going to the shovel pass. You're looking at Trav, and then that guy's supposed to be the window dressing to get those guys open, and it actually ended up being the guy that was wide open, and it was very similar to the Super Bowl before, the corn dog motion. And we called it Tom and Jerry because that was the way how the shovel pass was going to work, and ended up being the same throw as the last Super Bowl.
Didn't like nerves as you're letting it go, or you're like, oh my gosh, he's so open and we're about to win the Super Bowl, or do you not even think of stuff like that?
There was no nerves in that moment. I think it was just because, I mean, when it's not the guy you're expecting to kind of go to, you just kind of react and make the throw. And I remember throwing it and then seeing, I think I talked about it, but seeing in Mecole's eyes, like he was kind of shocked. Like he just caught it and then he scored the touchdown and he looks around and he looks at me and I'm like, we won the Super Bowl, man.
It's amazing. It really is. All right, so now take us from there, right? The celebration. You run around the helmet, but then you kind of have this moment where you lay on the ground and a little bit like it's like everything hit you at all at once. Where were you in that moment?
It was surreal. I think it was the most I appreciated winning the Super Bowl. I mean, just because it was such an adverse season, so much adversity and dealing with it and the struggles that we dealt with, especially as an offense. I hadn't dealt with that before.
Right.
I remember going home and being with my wife and being like, I'm just going to keep pushing the guys. Like, it's going to start working out. And then to finally get it to kind of work at the end of the season, get it rolling in the playoffs, and then beating like three to four great teams.
Right,
I mean, just at the end of the year there. And it really was truly like I run around, I'm celebrating. I just laid down and had to just take it all in.
What's the difference between maybe this Super Bowl, or what made this one special compared to the first two?
I think it was just how much adversity we dealt with. I mean, we had always been a high-flying offense that would go out there and score points and win while we were doing it. It was fun, and we were joking around doing the crazy motions, everything like that, where this year it was the defense that kind of led the team. And the offense, we dealt with our struggles, and we had to continue to just work to get better every single week. And it wasn't like you would work and you do something and it would pay off right then. You had to continue to work even though it wasn't paying off.
Right.
And it just made me really appreciate that playoff run that we went through. And I remember actually when we played LA that last regular season game and Trav didn't play, and we were talking about it on that flight back home. And I said, if we win this one, it's going to hurt those guys, man, because this isn't the one we're supposed to win. And we went out there and did it.
Right. Yeah, so the struggle was real last year.
The struggle was extremely real.
It was real. We're going to get more into that here in a few minutes because I want to hit you on that a little bit. But I do want to go to your coach and Andy because, I mean, hey, it's we know Belichick and Brady or Montana and Walsh, right? All these great names. You guys are up in that pantheon of people now. What is your relationship with Coach Reid like on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, he's the best. Obviously, he's one of the best coaches of all time, especially offensive minds. I mean, the way he's able to continue to just bring us new plays and bring us new motions and stuff to pique our interest and keep us in every single week of the season is one of a kind. And then I think the person is what really what makes him who he is. it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, who is on his team. They all love him because he's truly just a good, genuine person, and he cares about the person as me more than the player.
Yes.
And he wants me to be the best that I can be as a dad and as a husband and then a football player. And so guys play hard. I mean, they know that he's going to ask a lot out of you, but he truly is going to put in just as much work as you do. And so I think that's what makes him such a great head coach.
So, like, I grew up with, like, you know, Phil Simms and Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells would yell at my dad all the time. I played for John Gruden. He'd let me have it all the time. Does he ever yell at you? I don't ever think I've seen him yell at you on a game field.
It's not a yell, but he has this like stare. It's like when you're you do something wrong and your dad looks at you and gives you that look, and,
right.
you're just like, all right, that's on me. I
so
understand.
he'll just give you a look as you're walking off, and you're like, oh man, I did something stupid.
Yeah, and then if he even raises his voice at all, you know. And so he does it in meetings. He's not going to go out there and do it on the field in front of everybody, but he'll give you a little bit of a look or a little bit of a louder voice where he lets you know that you're not doing it the right way. And I think the guys, everybody in the Chiefs organization knows, like, if he does that, you better tighten up and get right.
Yeah, right. It's the dad stare that makes you feel guilty almost, it sounds like.
Yeah, and because he lets you have fun. And so it's like you just push it a little too far, like throwing the behind the back passes in practice and stuff like that. Like, he'll let you, if it's all good and practice is going well, he'll let you do it. But if you do something that's a little bit stepping out just a little too far, he'll give you that look, and you know, all right, let's get back to the fundamentals.
Have you ever given it to him? Have you ever yelled at Coach Reid at all at any point in your career?
I don't know if I've yelled, but I'm very fiery on the game day.
Right.
I mean, I think you can see that sometimes on the sideline. It's like I get into game day, and I'm not like that calm demeanor that you see just on a normal day-to-day basis. And so I am fiery, but I know how to do it in the right way, and I think the guys respect it because they know I care just as much as everybody else.
Have you done it long enough here with him where, you hear about, like, quarterback, wide receiver being on the same page? Like, I can almost think of what he's thinking when we see this coverage. Are you and Coach Reid like that a little bit through a game?
100%.
Yeah.
There's actually times in games where, like, I know what play he's going to call before he calls it. And that's not just, like, the first 15. That's, like, during the game. And
middle of third
quarter,
right.
He starts sending personnel in, and I'm like, got it. Like, I know exactly where we're going. I know why we're doing it. And it's cool because then it's like it develops before the play even happens. And so I know who I'm going to throw it to. I know how it's going to look, and then I go out there and execute it. And that just comes with a lot of reps, a lot of time with Coach Reid, and a lot of the same guys that are on my football team.
Do you have dinner with him off the field?
We don't necessarily have dinner,
right.
Especially during season.
Right.
But I've been down to his house in California and seeing that different type of stuff. I actually have a real cool story I haven't told anybody where he took me out on his he has like a little convertible. He took me out down to the beach, little Mexican food place that he has.
Right.
And I remember just being in a convertible with Coach Reid, and I'm cruising down, and I don't want to tell exactly where he lives out there in California. Right. And I'm just like, man, if someone could get this picture, dude, it'd be iconic.
Wow, I wish I had that picture. All right, so give me what kind of car, what kind of convertible are we talking about?
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that.
But sacred. A good car.
It was a classic car.
I'll put it that
way.
Okay.
So he has a little bit of that history that he loves, and so he had a classic little convertible car. And
right.
He was cruising. We were cruising down the beach, and I remember just looking around like someone's gonna get us, man. Someone TMZ, whatever you call it, is gonna take a picture of us.
Right. That's unbelievable. They didn't. When you eat dinner with him, does he always take the last nuggies?
Oh, he does. No.
Does he always want? Give me those last nuggies.
Oh, it's not the last ones. He finishes his food fast. I'm quick about eating as well because if I don't, he will grab from other people's plates.
So the commercial's real to life is what you're telling me.
The commercial's really real, and that line in the commercial he made up. It wasn't like a scripted line. He was like he said it once, and I remember the director being like, "I like that. Let's keep running with that." And then of course it's iconic commercial now.
Oh, it is. It is. You guys are awesome together. Back to seriousness. We're friends, I think, you and I.
Yep.
All right, don't lie to me. You kind of have talked about it already before. Christmas night, you had to be like, there's no way we can go to the Super Bowl, or what the hell is going on with our football team?
There was more what the hell is going on with our football team.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing. I knew that we had the talent, but that one stung. I mean, just to not only get beat on Christmas, but get beat by the Raiders like that.
Right.
And it wasn't fun. And, I mean, it was the offense. I mean, if you look at that game, it was the offense that lost that game. There's no other way around it. And so, for me, it was kind of the moment, I think, for the entire team and the offense especially, where it was like, if we don't turn it around now, we're never going to turn it around.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the biggest thing for us is that it woke us. I don't want to say it woke us up because I feel like we were trying to be better, but it gave us that last straw with like it's got to happen now, and if it doesn't happen now, the season's lost.
Was there like a meeting that week, or is there any like one defining moment where you were like, man, we were in a meeting or in the locker room or whatever, and the team finally like you could tell flipped a switch? Anything like that?
Not necessarily a meeting,
Yeah.
not necessarily anything like that. And I've had those in certain seasons, but I think you could just feel the intensity of practice that next week. And I know you say that, but it never changed. It was like once that intensity picked up and we started executing at a higher level, I thought it was cool to see the guys grow and to grow that late in the season and not be downed by the adversity we had been through.
So it's almost like the fear a little bit of that bad game on Christmas got everybody's intensity up the next week.
100%. And I think more than that, I think it's just like we had won the Super Bowl, and I feel like the year before, and we had won a lot of games at the beginning of the last season, so we felt like we kind of coasted the playoffs, and I think that just woke us up as like, if we don't do it now, it's not gonna flip the switch. And so we played Cincinnati that next week, and we played good that game, and just continue to build on that the rest of the season.
Yeah, I want to hit on you personally a little here, just like your stages of development, let's say. What's different about Patrick Mahomes, 2019 Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes, compared to quarterback now who's played in 3 more Super Bowls, won 2 more of them, right? Yeah. Like, how do you view yourself then compared to now?
I think just the understanding of not only myself, but the offense and defenses has just went to a whole new level. I mean, I know people always talk about this like certain age where your athletic ability and your mental side is kind of all hitting at the same time, and I feel like I'm at least getting into that because, I mean, I see defenses now, and it's like I don't have to necessarily see that scouted look during the week. It's like I've seen it before in my past, and I know exactly what's going to happen. And it's still hard. It's still very hard to play quarterback, and I mean, you know that. Right. But it just gives you that info to, like, I can eliminate stuff before the play even happens, and then I can just go out there and execute. And it's good to have a lot of these guys back from last year and add new, and so we can be on the same page quickly. And I'm excited for the season because I feel like we have a great offense.
Do you chuckle a little, like, thinking back about like the early Mahomes and how raw I was, maybe, or I didn't know anything or whatever?
100%.
Right.
Like, it's like, you didn't know, so you just went out there and played, and we had so much success earlier. I was just like, man, I'm just going to throw it deep. We're going to throw touchdowns, and we're going to score points and win football games. And it didn't last like that. The NFL, these defense coordinators get paid to catch up and to make you learn. And they did. They made me learn. And I remember Bill Belichick was my first lesson that I ever got, and then it kind of evolved from there. And I've had a bunch of different looks, which I feel like has helped me become a better quarterback even faster.
Yeah. You talked about it a little when you talk about stepping up the line. What point, like, or what percentage you think you step up the line now and go, oh, I know this play's gonna work?
I wouldn't say all the time, but like, I mean, it's a good percentage of the time, especially these last few years. I mean, it just, you know where you're supposed to go with the ball. I'm not gonna always say it's gonna work, but you know what the covers they're playing, and how they're blitzing or whatever it is, who you're thinking about going to, and if that's not there, where you're going next. Coach Reid puts a lot on the quarterbacks, which at the time when I was young was hard. I mean, I had to learn a ton. That's why I was happy I sat that first year, because there was a lot, and I learned a ton from Alex. Now I know. I think that's the coolest thing. Sometimes I look around and see quarterbacks and you get hit with the blitz and it's like they get smoked, and I'm like, I know the moment that I'm hot or unprotected where I need to go and get the ball out. And that's because Coach Reid puts it all on the quarterback to go out there and make those calls. And then now I'm with Creed for so long that we can kind of discuss and have full conversations at the line of scrimmage and get us going in the right direction. And it lets us go out there and execute at a high level.
You've done everything. You've done everything in your career. I mean, what's the next step of the evolution? What's the one thing you look at about your game and go, I mean, I look at it and go, you're awesome at everything. Yep. But what's the one thing you go, I could do better here?
I think for me, it's finding that right balance. I want to get back to attacking downfield just because I feel like it opens everyone else up. Yeah. It makes it easier for guys. It makes it easier for the run game. It makes it easier for Trav to work in space, or Rasheed, all these different guys. You have to know where that balance is. And I feel like I've been the quarterback that's attacked only, and I've been these last few years where I've been underneath a lot more than I'd ever been. And so I want to find that balance of where I can still attack downfield and still hit underneath stuff as well. And I think you saw that with Tom in the kind of that middle part of his career, where he was throwing the ball deep and attacking downfield, but still picking you apart underneath. And so there's just you can never be satisfied in this league. Everybody's coming for you. Defenses are getting better. There's other great quarterbacks in this league. And so how can I make myself better to go out there and be even a better quarterback than I was the year before?
All right. Yeah, I want to see bombs away Mahomes
yes,
too.
Sir.
Right?
Yes,
I do
sir.
want to see that for sure. All right. Now, you big games. Like, I'm amazed by you guys in big games. I really am. What is it about Coach Reid and the culture he sets here that allows you guys to play so loose in the biggest moments?
I think there's two things. I mean, first off, I think Coach Reid prepares us so well. Every single day we have some type of like end of game or end of half situation where we have to know what to do. Is it we need a Mayday field goal after this play, or is it we're trying to get out of bounds and we're going to clock it if we don't? And it's just something situation that he prepares us for. And so when we get in the game, we've talked through all this different type of stuff, so everybody's on the same page. He does a great job of calling, like, even if he disguises them, simple plays that guys know.
Right.
And so guys can play fast. And then a lot of the guys have just been in those situations before. So if you get in the Super Bowl, I mean, we have been in these last-minute drives all year long, all my career. And so instead of making it, it's the final drive in the Super Bowl, let's just make it, it's a thing that we've done every single week, it seems like, of the season. And so it wasn't like we just had these crazy plays and we got down the field. We just did what we were supposed to do on that play and then did it again the next one.
You guys are rare in the fact that it seems like you guys have fun in that moment.
Yeah.
Like it's smiling still, and it's like we don't feel pressure. And that's where I want to get into you a little bit, okay? Because you brought up the name a little bit. You're starting to get a little Jordan-esque, okay?
Yeah.
Where it's like if you don't do it, I think most of America's like, what? He didn't win? Oh, how did that happen? Okay, take me in. Last drive of the Super Bowl. What are you talking about in your brain? Where are you at mentally? Are you talking to yourself? I mean, kind of give us a little look at this.
Not necessarily. I'm just thinking about what I need to do that play, like that next play. I mean, I think walking onto the field, I mean, the good thing about having Harrison Buckers, I knew I didn't have to get that much past midfield to at least get us in field goal range to tie the game.
Right.
So I wasn't trying to make like this one play to get us all the way down to the red zone. I was just like, the first play, I'm just throwing like little check down stuff and getting the ball moving and in the right direction. I just don't make the moment bigger than what it is. I mean, at the end of the day,
play.
I just play it play by play. This is what I've dreamed of my whole entire life. It's not like you have to score on this play. You just do it play by play and then get the ball down the field. And then once you get down there, I think that's when you try to take advantage of that opportunity to make the big play and to throw the ball to Trav in the back shoulder for a touchdown or whatever that is.
Right.
And so that's where you get in trouble sometimes. And I think even me at the beginning of last year is like I would go for the shot, go for the win right there. And I think I just learned from that and just got better from it.
So no breathing exercises or anything like that?
No, honestly, like, someone told me whenever I was in college that you can only focus on a certain amount of things, and your mind can only focus on these certain amount of things. And so all I can focus on is what I got to do on that play, and if that's the motion, if that's the protection, and then where the read is. And I just try to keep those things in my mind and not worried about where I'm at, what game it is, just treat them all the same.
I just feel like when I start seeing the walk and this all the time,
I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know where that came from. I'm just trying to get the play in. I like to be at the line of scrimmage early, so I try to like put a little bit of the pressure on the coaches to get the play in fast.
Yeah, right. I hear that. I definitely hear that. All right, so now we got to get into your artistry, right? Your behind the back pass, of course. You finally did it in the game a few weeks ago. Tell us about that. What sparks the creativity of these things that you do on the football field?
It's a mixture of Coach Reid and Travis Kelce. I mean, it's like they like want me to do it more than anything. I think people are always like, oh, he's just freelancing out there doing this stuff. If it was their decision, I would do it all the time. And so, like in practice, Coach Reid, when I do it, he's like, he doesn't even show an emotion, and then he comes on the sideline. He's like, you could have thrown it a little bit better. You know, you could have led the guy. So it's stuff like that, and then. Coach Reid will like put us in these situations where we have to, if we try a shovel pass or try like a sidearm pass and stuff like that, and if it works, he's like, go be you, go do who you are, have fun, and then Travis is the other side because he always like challenges me, and he's like, so if I don't do it, like he'll have a play design where he like possibly could have the behind the back, and I don't do it. He'll just be like call me soft, or he'll say that like he's like, bet you won't do it in the game and stuff like that. And so they're pressuring me to try to do it.
It's amazing. The whole world thinks that you want to do it.
No,
and this is like Mahomes is putting the pressure on the Chiefs because he wants to show these type of plays. And I've told a few people recently because I read your quotes and everything you said. I was like, I don't think this is Mahomes. This is them.
Yeah, and I actually like I know the one in the game happened, and everybody thinks it's like because Trav said they think it was planned. I promise you, it was not planned, and Trav ran the wrong route.
Right.
And then of course he's like blocking on a play he's not supposed to be blocking on, and then he just turns around and I see him and I throw it to him and he makes the play, and I'm like, that's when it's got to happen naturally, not when it's called or designed.
I hear that. All right, your sidearm throwing. When did that become? When did you start just dabbling in that and becoming so awesome at all that?
I mean, obviously baseball helps with it,
yeah.
But it actually came to like fruition, and I was in college with Coach Kingsbury. Same thing, he would like let me push the limits on what I can get away with, and then I had a quarterback named Nick Shimonek, who was my backup, who ended up being the starter after I left, and we would like when we do like our net like drills and stuff like that, we would all sidearm. You got the 1, 2, 3. Whoever would get the most would win. And then in practice, if you did one, you would show the other guy and say like, "Hey, like look what I got." And it's like we were one-upping each other.
Gotcha.
And then it became part of my game just because you would do it in practice so much. And I mean, it's fun. I mean, I don't like go out there seeking it, but like I said, naturally happens. It looks cool.
No, it definitely does. I mean, I have to tell my son all the time to just throw the ball the right way. You're not ready to throw the like Mahomes yet. Please stop doing that.
No, it's fundamentals first.
Fundamentals first.
Then we can do some sidearm.
Exactly right. That's what I tell him all the time. Your favorite throw of your career, like your throw. I don't care about play or like you're just where you went, oh, I crushed it. I threw a laser or whatever.
I always say my favorite like throw play is the one against the Ravens. My first year starting, it was like 4th and 7, maybe. I can't remember exactly. I was scrambling out to the right. And I threw it back across the field to Tyreek. And it's because it's a throw that I would have never made if it wasn't 4th down for the game. I have to throw it up and give a guy a chance. And so I saw Tyreek barely, and I was like, I got to just give him a chance to make a play. And I just chunked it across the field, and he comes back and makes a great play. And that was kind of one of those moments where I was like, I can do this. Like, we can make these plays in these big moments, and we can go down there and win football games.
Okay, all right, that's awesome. I've never heard you say that. And then, how about your favorite play? Would that also be your favorite play?
No, I think my favorite play is probably Wasp, just because when we ran in that first Super Bowl, like it was hard. Like we were hard. That D-line was getting after us, and it was 3rd and whatever, 14, 15, whatever it was, and I knew I was like, we gotta make a play now. And so I just dropped back. Same thing, Tyreek, give him a throw, and he makes a play on it, and it kind of sparked us. We win that Super Bowl, and I feel like that play sparked this run that we've been on.
I mean, I'll never forget that play either. Okay, I gotta hit on every coach I ever played with, right? Limit distractions, limit distractions, limit distractions. You guys amaze me because you're different than the Belichick, Brady, we're going to keep things buttoned up. You guys almost embrace the big show, right? And then it's Kelsey decides to start dating the most famous person in the world, where I think most coaches would be like, what the hell is going on? We got to deal with this now, right? I mean, how do you guys seem to embrace this stuff and make it all work?
I think it's because, I think it starts with Coach Reid, because he always says, let your personality show, and he wants you to have fun.
Right.
And then when you have a guy like Trav and Dayton, like you said, one of the most famous people in the world, I think it's just because he's such a good dude. It's true, it's real. He's outside the building, he's doing this stuff, but when he's in the building, he's working his tail off to be the best of the best. And whenever your Hall of Famer tight end that's going to be in that special room or whatever you call it, like where the best of the best are, is the hardest working dude at practice, it leads everybody else. And so it's not even that it's a distraction. Like you said, I like playing Sunday Night Football. I like playing the first game of the year. I like playing in the Super Bowl because that's when I watched it growing up. And so why not embrace it? Embrace being that show that comes to town and gets to play against the best of the best and get the best from every single team. And then I think just being part of it. I mean, it's been a heck of a ride. And I'm enjoying every single bit of it.
Yeah, you should. Do you feel like you notice a difference, like with Taylor Swift? Like, even when you go out, you're the most famous sports guy in America, but do you feel like it even went up to another level with the Taylor Swift infusion?
I think it's been cool to see the girls and the women that have really embraced watching football. And I know being a girl dad, how cool it is for me. I mean, to see like these little girls, these daughters, and how much they're loving and spending time with their dad watching football, and then meeting Taylor and realize how genuine and cool she is. I mean, I think that's been special to me because, I mean, she's, like you said, the most famous person in the world. She could not be, and she's really interested in football, and she asks a lot of great questions. She's already drawn up plays, so we might have to put one in.
Oh, gosh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Well, as a father of a daughter as well, I'm with you there. It's been really cool like that. I want to hit on your family a little bit, the real MVP. All right, your wife, right? Talk about her and what she does, for your life with all the hectic and pressure and everything you got to do to come home to her on a daily basis.
Well, I think it helps that she was an athlete. She was a professional athlete, played professional soccer, and understands like the grind, understands how much I have to be invested into it. And then whenever I have free time, I mean, she's making sure that I'm with the kids and enjoying it. And so she is the real MVP. I mean, she lets me go in there and put all this time into football. She's a competitor just like me, which I love. And so it's cool to me to be able to go out there and showcase what I do and what I love. And she's so invested in it and truly cares. I mean, she's asking football questions. I mean, she's asking all the right stuff, and she knows, she gets it. And so it's really cool, and we've known each other forever. So I know that she really, truly cares about me as the person more than me as the football player.
All right, and you got a third one on the way.
Third one on the way, another girl. So I'm got 2 girls and a boy. I'm excited. I wanted to have kids young, and I think it was because I grew up in the clubhouse in baseball, and so I got to see it all, and it was those are some of my best memories. Right. And so to have a daughter, and she's about to be 4 at the end of the season here, and my son's about to be 2, and then have another one on the way. It's gonna be a heck of a ride, and I'm excited for it.
Okay, we're ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, baby number 3, maybe a 3P.
Yeah,
okay,
let's do it.
see
Let's
what I'm
do it.
doing there?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right, thanks so much as always. You're the man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, they don't get any better than you, man. You're best.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.